Today we're diving into the philosophy of Martin Heidegger, and we're going to uncover a pretty surprising and maybe even a little unsettling truth about who you really are.
So, let's start with a question that sounds simple, but trust me, it's puzzled thinkers for centuries. Where does your sense of self actually come from? I mean, is it your inner thoughts, your experiences, or is it something else entirely?
For a long time, the go-to answer was that you're basically an isolated mind, a subject looking out at an objective world. But then Heidegger came along and just flipped that whole idea on its head.
He argued against this idea of an independent self that just exists first and then goes out and meets other people. Nope. He believed our existence is fundamentally shared, right from the very beginning. You don't start as me and then find the world. You start as me with others in the world. He even gave this concept a name, Mitsein, which you can translate as being with. And the key here is that this isn't just about being in the same room as someone. It means you literally cannot be a self without already being fundamentally connected to others. It's like it's part of your existential DNA.
And this idea goes really deep. Heidegger says that even when you're physically all alone, you're not actually outside of Mitsein. Being alone is just what he calls a deficient mode of being with. You're simply being with no one at that particular moment. But your fundamental way of existing, it's still totally social.
Okay, so this constant, unavoidable connection we have to others creates this really powerful, anonymous social force, and it shapes our lives in ways we almost never even notice.
Heidegger called this force das Man, which we can translate as the they. You should think of it as the voice of public opinion, right? The social norms, the background chatter that tells us how one is supposed to behave. It's basically the unwritten rule book for life.
And we all know this voice, don't we? It's why we follow certain trends or watch the same shows or scroll through the same social media feeds. The they provides a nice, comfortable script. You don't have to stress about what to do, you just do what they do, a lot of the time without even thinking about it.
This quote from Heidegger's work just nails the core problem perfectly. When we let ourselves be completely run by the they, our own unique individuality just kind of gets lost in the crowd. We all become interchangeable.
So what's the big deal with that? Well, letting the they run your life actually comes at a pretty steep price. Heidegger broke this cost down into 3 key areas.
First up, it promotes averageness. The main goal of the they is to smooth everything out, to make sure no one stands out too much. Blending in is the name of the game, and breaking the norm, well, that's seen as a problem that needs to be fixed.
Second, this leads to what he calls leveling down. They doesn't just encourage being average, it actively restricts your unique possibilities. It kind of suppresses anything that's truly exceptional or original, all to maintain the status quo.
And finally, they offers a really tempting comfort, something he calls disburdening. And this is a huge one. When you do what they do, you're off the hook. You don't feel the weight of responsibility for your own existence anymore, because you've just handed it over to this anonymous force. It makes life a whole lot easier, sure, but at what cost?
Okay, so if this force is so powerful and so limiting, the solution has to be to escape it, right? To just break free from society and all its expectations?
Is the path to an authentic life really found in total separation? I mean, should we just reject everyone else to find our true selves? Heidegger's answer is a surprising and really powerful no. And this is where his philosophy gets truly profound. You can't escape the they.
So here's the crucial point. The they isn't some evil outside force that you have to defeat. It's an essential, primordial feature of your Mitsein, your being with. It is the very fabric of the social world you were born into. There's no getting away from it.
True authenticity, for Heidegger, isn't about detaching from society. It's about changing your relationship to it. He calls this an existential modification. See, you start in the default state, just lost in the they. The path to an authentic self is to consciously recognize those norms and then, this is the important part, choose your relationship to them. It's about transforming the they self that is already part of you from the inside out.
So true selfhood isn't about escaping to find some new, isolated world. It's about consciously and courageously finding yourself within the world you already share. It's not always about what you do, but how you choose to do it. So that leaves us with a question. If you can't escape the they, what's one choice you can make today to modify your relationship with it?